Okay, friends, so we are recording now. So welcome everybody to this demo session on cloud performance engineering in DevOps and SRE course side, reliability engineering course. So the agenda for this demo is to talk about this course that we are launching with Isha, one of the new batches. I'm running this course from last 6 years with Isha, quite successful. And this is the new batch that we're starting over the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, over the weekends in the evening time, same time that we're meeting today, IST, 7:30 IST. So Saturday and Sunday, right? So the agenda of this demo is to go over the course, understand what all we covered, how you can benefit, you can ask your questions if you have, and understand how you're going to benefit using this course, how it will help you achieve your aspirations, right? Okay, friends, so before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Roshan Kumar. I am with ISA from last 6 years. I have been doing training. Overall, I have 18 years of experience in IT, more than 18 years now. Uh, Currently, I'm a working professional. I teaching is sharing knowledge is one of my hobbies. So I take up sessions. I currently working as a principal SRE, principal site reliability engineering. As a I head the SRE team with one of the reputed retail giants of the world. I started my career as a developer, Java developer, and then have been into various other tools. I have been in Linux admin. I have been a DBA. I have spent quite some significant time, 6 to 8 years, as a Java performance engineering professional, troubleshooting Java applications. I have worked on multiple cloud, uh, AWS, Azure, GCP, OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Okay, so that's background about me, friends. So before I talk about the course, I would like to ask a simple question to all of you. That's the agenda, packed agenda. So before I start about the course, I'm going to ask a very simple question from all of you. I believe you are from a different background. Most of you would be from QA background, performance. Few would be from QA, automation, functional testing background, could be from support. Few would be developers, right? Across. Uh, so this question is going to be applicable for all, everybody in the software, in the IT. The next question. Okay, so let's answer this question, friends. Do we all agree as software engineers that these things are must to know this in current market trend situations that we are living in? The understanding of DevOps, working in DevOps, working on microservices application architecture, understanding of containers, Docker, Kubernetes, how auto scaling happens there, how we deploy applications in containers, and the cloud infrastructure. Do we all agree, irrespective of your field, that it's must know things for everybody in IT in current market trend? How many of you will agree? You can use the chat option. You can use yes. Right? I see hand. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. I see uh, Venkatesh, Samir, Ganga. Right, Samir. Yeah. Raising the hand. Ram Kumar Shah, Vivin, almost Srinivas. Everybody, right? Let's speak about something, friends. Let's share your knowledge. Do we all agree, friends, that this is the must know knowledge in the current market trend? Anybody, feel free.
Yes, Roshan, definitely DevOps, microservices, containers, cloud, which we have showed in the screen. Definitely, we need it. I know
Right.
it must now nowadays.
Must.
Yeah, so emergency technology stack has been drastically changed last few years. So I do agree. Thank
Right.
you.
And just to let you know, everybody here, I am running this course from last 6 years. I've been telling everybody that it is, because see, not everybody works in the latest technology, right? Everybody get to work on the opportunity. So that's why I have been telling that this is a very old slide. It's not a new slide. Right. So now we'll understand, friends. Okay, we can lower your hand, friends, so that next time when you raise your hand, I can come to know. Thank you so much. Okay, so now in the next slide, you will understand how these things are relevant, where these technologies fits in current market trend. Let's understand this. In the next slide, you will have a very thorough understanding of things now. Friends, these things are relevant because we are progressing over the years. If I talk about DevOps, if you go back in time when the software industry started, if you look at, if you just check what was the SDLC process, SDLC model which was adopted earlier, you will find it was a waterfall model. Then we moved to Agile. Obviously, waterfall had disadvantages and we did better with Agile. With Agile, we bring in automation and we're talking about DevOps now. So look at the time frame. That's why these things are must to know. Now, whether you're still working in Agile, few of you would be working in Agile, you would not be knowing about DevOps. Again, you have to transition. All the companies are getting transitioning their product with the latest technology. Even you would be asked to someday, if you want to switch a company from one company to another company, you will be expected to know this. Again, on the microservices part, we had monolithic applications back in time. We didn't have microservices. We understand the importance of microservices, and today we are developing microservices, not monolithic applications. And if you had a monolithic application earlier, we have projects in a lot of companies where they are migrating their monolithic code to microservices because it gives the application availability. I'll talk about these things. What it is monolithic, what is microservice, I'll talk about this. You'll understand better. Again, it comes to the containers. Now, there would be people here in this forum who would be deploying the applications in the VMs still. Okay, do we all know? I would like everybody, let's cross check, quick check. Very simple question, not a technical question I'm asking. Do you know where your code that you're working on is getting deployed? Is it getting deployed in the VM or is it in the container? Do we know this, friends? You chat, unmute, anything is fine. Do we know about your current product? I'm asking, which you're working on. Is it getting deployed in the VM or is it deployed in the container, or you don't know? Three options. VM. Samir Venkatesh is saying VMs. Okay, others? Waving containers. Okay. Chaitanya containers, Ram Kumar Sah containers, Malik containers, right? So again, look at this. We have people with VMs also, and we have with containers also, applications with VMs and containers. But if you look at the transitioning, how the technology is shifting, it's always going towards containers. And there are regions for it. I'll tell you the regions today. You'll understand all these things. If you think you don't know about DevOps, microservices, containers, friends, you will have a learning today that I can assure you. Don't worry. So we're talking about containers now. Again, on the infrastructure side, if you earlier, if you had a business idea, there was no other option. There were no cloud providers as of today. Earlier, you had to set up a data center, which is a very costly thing to set up. Now we have transitioned to cloud. Today we need a server, just a matter of getting a cloud account, getting some servers, pay a monthly bill. That's it, right? So we are living in this world, friends. and it's ongoing from since 2010. It's happening, and it's ongoing, and it'll continue to develop. Right? We are still in this phase. In this, so let's understand this. Right? See, in briefly, friends, in waterfall, what is the approach in waterfall? Quickly, anybody would like to say what was the approach with waterfall?
Yeah, firstly, like they will develop the code, and after that we start with the testing part.
Right?
Yeah.
All the development, whatever we have decided, let's complete all the development part. It can have a lot of features, modules, doesn't matter. It can have 10 modules, 10 features, but develop everything first. Develop every modules first. Develop every module first. And after development, then only when you developed everything, then only you would be required to test. That was the approach we have taken. We faced a lot of problem. What type of problem could be there with waterfall? What do you think?
So time consuming.
Major ones.
After deploying into the production, we used to find the defects. That is a cost.
Correct. That's the most painful and the costly. Let's say after you have spent year of time in development and after you test, you figure this out, the application is not scalable. Gone. You have to re-architect everything. Very costly. So we learn from our mistakes, and what did we do? We moved to agile. That's our next phase. We moved to agile. In agile, what did we do? We took the development phase into phases. Okay, I'm going to develop this phase first. I'm going to develop this feature. First, this feature. I'm going to do all the SDLC steps. Development, testing, all sorts of testing, QA, performance, functional, security. We will do all sorts of testing we will do. We split the development into phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We did all the SDLC. We did all the SDLC in each phase. And we took the feedback of the customer also. Boss, this is how it looks. We have developed this. This is how it looks. Do you have any feedback? So we took the feedback from the customer and we moved on. We implemented the feedback again. We took some more features, did SDLC, again took the feedback, and eventually the product that we will get is much more better than the waterfall. Yes or no? In this agile process. Is everybody with me? Thumbs up, quick thumbs up. There's an icon called thumbs up. Okay, now with agile, friends, it was all good. No problem with the approach, but the manual process was creating problem. What is the manual process? See, when the code is ready, what do we want to do with that code, friends? When the code is ready, let's say developer is ready with the code. What do we actually want to do? Eventually, what do we want to do with that code?
Deployment process.
Deployment to the production. That's what eventual, but we don't do that. We cannot take that risk, right? So we deploy in a lower environment. We do all sorts of validations, functional, performance, security, and then eventually we deploy the code to production. Now, during this process, code was ready, and before you deployed the code to production, if the process takes months of time, is it efficient? Tell me, think about it. Think logically. Code was ready a month back, and now I'm deploying the code to production. Don't you think we should improve this process through automation? Why can't we automate deployment process? Why can't we automate the testing process? If the test cases are being run manually, why can't we automate it? Why things which could be automated, we should be automate those things, right? So DevOps talks about automation, nothing else. So agile as a process is absolutely fine, DevOps focuses on the automation so that the release velocity of the product can be improved. Everybody with me? What is DevOps?
Automating the deployment process.
Automated the process, CI/CD pipeline, automating the SDLC process. And we have tools to achieve that. That's called DevOps. Friends, everybody with me? Any questions? Thumbs up or any questions, please ask. Let's be active here, friends. Either you ask question or give me thumbs up. Two options. Okay, perfect. Now, moving on to the application architecture. What is monolithic? Mono means single. Mono means single. Lithic means big. Single big unit. Big. Entire code base packaged together. Entire code base packaged together. I'm going to quickly show you. I already have a GitHub page, friends. Let me show you quickly so that I don't need to draw it again. We can save some time. Give me a minute. Okay. Focus on this, friends. When we say monolithic, I'm talking about the app server here. Web server, monolithic doesn't make sense. Web server is a web server. If I hit makemytrip.com application, all those things that you see, all these things, it's just a web page, right? So when we say monolithic or microservices, it's always the application server we talk about. It's always the application server we talk about. Is the code. So when you do some operations in the web server, when I go to flights, search, when I click on, where are we hitting? We are hitting some servers to do some processing, right? In this time, when I clicked on search, a lot of API calls were made to the flight carriers. We got the output in some JSON format or XML format. We passed it, we format it, we displayed it as a human readable format. A lot of things we did quickly. Make my trip did. Obviously, it needs some processing. So I'm talking about the logic server, application server that performs. It made a lot of calls to the API server, call the database, and getting things for you. In the web server, we see our output in the web server. So when I say monolithic, I'm talking about the application server. Is the scope clear, friends? Do we all agree? When I say monolithic or microservice, it's always the application server we talk about. Yes or no? So monolithic means let's say I have got a lot of code logic here. M1, M2, M3, M4. We have a lot of logic. And when you package, deploy all the code base together. For example, M1 having some functions, M2 having some functions, M3 modules, features. I'm calling to complete F1, I'm calling functions from other modules. There's a huge dependency in monolithic applications. Huge dependency. And we package it together. If you are writing the code in Java, you get one jar file. What? Package it together. What is the problem, friends? Now tell me, if somebody will tell you, oh, if this flights is not working or having some issues, flights module is having some issues, even you cannot book the hotels. Will you like such application?
Definitely not.
Right? We would say why this feature has to do with that feature, right? So that is what the problem of monolithic, because we are packaging it together. That issue with one function will not just impact that particular module, but because of huge dependency, it can create problem for other modules also and overall application. That's the
Yeah,
problem with
it is
monolithic.
tightly coupled and it is
Tightly coupled.
purely dependent on the each other.
Right. Absolutely correct. So that's the problem with monolithic applications. So what is the solution? Split it, right? I don't want flights code to be merged with hotels more. I don't want that, right? Let's split these modules. And together they will make one application. M1, M2, M3, M4. Let's not call the functions. Make it independent. That's the microservices we talk about. That is what we talk about, microservices. So splitting into microservices, what does it benefit? Application availability. Application availability. I can only focus if I'm making a code change in module 1, I can be only focused on M1. I need to only deploy M1, not other modules. Whereas monolithic, if I am making a small code base in one of the functions, I have to deploy the entire code base together. A lot of features we'll discuss that, right? So that's the brief about the microservices. Friends, making sense? What is microservices about?
Splitting the services individually.
Yeah, making it independent. It's like how to, if I tell you, friends, if if Indigo is down, Indigo website is down, Make My Trip will be down. Will you like that statement? Yeah, I understand that when you click on the search, Make My Trip calls Indigo API. That's good. But Make My Trip also calls other APIs, Air India Express, Air India, SpiceJet. Okay, fine. I should not get the Indigo output, but it doesn't mean that I don't get the other outputs. So that is the benefit of segregating, right? There is no relation between Make My Trip and Indigo. They are two different applications. I'm just calling the Make My Trip, just calling the API and getting things done. So even even the application, the modules, independent modules within the same application will talk to each other through API calls. No need to call the functions, making it dependent. The idea is to make it become independent and work independently. And if you need to pass on some information, call the API, get call, post call, put call, patch call, delete call it, get it done. That's the architecture of modern architecture we always work upon. Issue, we don't want, this will make sure that the issue is not getting cascaded. Okay, making sense, friends? Microservices. All good? Okay.
Yes.
Now, coming to the containers. Again, it's about the infra. Friends, if I give you a technology which will help you reduce infra cost by 50% without compromising on the performance, without compromising on the availability, would you hesitate?
Never.
That is what containers did. That's what container does over VMs. Earlier, we had physical servers. There was no concept of virtualization. Then virtualization came. We could use the same infra and we could create multiple VMs. When we go to the cloud, EC2 or in Azure, GCP, we create servers. Compute engine, virtual machine, we create servers because they have done the virtualization, cloud providers. So over the years, it was observed that the VMs were not fully utilized. That's what containers solve the problem. So containers make sure that one VM should be fully utilized first, and then only you go with the other VM. For example, I'll ask you a very simple question to make you understand without making it complicated. It will take some time for me to explain, but just to easily understand. Let's say you have a three tier architecture: web server, app server, a database server. Let's say you have 3-tier architecture. web, app, and database, each having 8 cores. Let's talk only about the core, 8 cores. How many total cores I have asked for?
Altogether 24.
24. Now let's say the usage is 20% only. Overall usage is only 20%. 20% here, 20% here, 20% here. How much total cores I'm using? Calculate it. 20% of 24 cores. How much?
Approximately 2.5 to 3.
20% of 24 cores. So approximately 4.8 cores, 5 cores total. Correct? Is the calculation correct? 4.8. I'm ruffling it, making 5 cores. Is everybody on the same page? 20% of 24. Is it too difficult? Correct? How much it is? Approximately 5 cores. Now, if I give you one VM of 8 core, and if I create 3 containers in that, one for the web container, again, this VM again is of 8 core. 8 cores VM. Same. And I create 3 containers here in this VM. One container for the web, one container for the app, one container for the database. 3 containers. Tell me, do you see that I can save 16 cores here? How many of you see that I can save 60 cores? 16 cores. Anyway, my usage is 5 core only. I have 5 core right here. 8 cores I have given you. My usage was net usage by 5 core only, but I was consuming, I asked for 24 cores, but I was using effectively only 5 cores. So use this. You have 8 cores, use this shared in a shared model, shared resources. If you need auto scaling, ask for it. But over the long run, you will be saving resources, infra. Do we all see this optimization, infra optimization? Yes, no?
Yes.
That is what containers does. That is what the containers does. Container technology is all about cost optimization. And we have process, Docker, Kubernetes. How do we auto scale? What if there are traffic coming in, bulk, sudden spike? How will you handle VM auto scale? So there are a lot of things. Okay, I have a question from Joy. But if they have 8 cores, how will you save 8 cores in 3 containers? Okay, Joy, you need to speak up. How much effective usage of core, Joy?
Hello, good morning or good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible, Joy. So please
Okay.
answer my question. What is the net usage of cores?
I can see you wrote 8 cores here in the 3 containers.
Okay, Joy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please answer my question, specific question. 20% was my usage in the VMs. What was the net usage of core I was doing?
I don't know, but I only ask questions for the 8 cores that you wrote here.
I'll come to that. You answer my question, you will get your answer.
No, I cannot, please.
Okay, so just to 20% of 24 is 5 core, and I have given you 8 cores, right? So only you require only 5 core, but I have given you 8 cores. So it's more than enough for the 3 containers to run. And in the first scenario, I asked for 24 cores total. In the second scenario, all I'm asking is for 8 cores with the containers. So I'm saving 16 cores. Making sense?
Sorry. So if I understand you, the 24 cores are 8 times 3, right?
24 core is getting added up from here.
Yes, okay, yes, I got it.
This is my scenario 1. 24
Yes,
cores I have asked, but I'm only using 5 cores effectively. In the second scenario, I decided to use container concept and I asked for only one VM, 8 core again, and I deployed 3 containers. So effectively, I've asked for 8 cores and I could manage the entire workload because my usage was only 5 cores earlier. So I can manage the entire workload with this only one VM. So I'm saving 16 cores overall.
okay.
Okay, friends, making sense? Thumbs up, quick thumbs up. Does container make? Okay, perfect.
Yes,
Thank you. Others?
thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, friends. So the last part again, the cloud. You don't need to. Again, if you earlier, if you had a business idea, it was always data center. You don't have other options. Nowadays, we have providers. Getting infrastructure is not a big problem. Earlier, cloud is a very costly setup because you have to set up, purchase the land, build the infrastructure, purchase the hardware. Data center is a very costly affair. Not everybody can afford it. Right? That was the case earlier. We talk about a lot of on-premises. Look, I think here also in the forum we would have people who would be working in on-premises setup, right? This is we call it data center, friends. A lot of servers, purchase the land, procure the building, uh, construct the building, purchase the hardwares which runs. The server will generate enormous amount of heat. You have to maintain the cooling. A lot of investment, right? Data center. Not everybody can afford it. But nowadays we have cloud providers. A lot of companies like Amazon, Microsoft, GCP, Google, they have opened their data centers and they are putting it on rent. Okay, you need servers. Okay, go to aws.com, log in, and get servers. Let me log into the cloud console of AWS, friends. Look at this. I'm logging. This is my AWS cloud console. I'm logging in here, and I can get servers. I can get storage. That's what we need, right? We need servers to deploy my application. I need storage to host my data. We are living in cloud world, and every other company using cloud. Not everybody can set up the on-premise, right? So that's the cloud we all need to know, right? Any cloud, doesn't matter. AWS, I'm showing you because they have the largest market cap. AWS was launched in 2007, but other cloud provider they launched in 2012, 2013. They already have 5 years ahead in the game and largest market share. If you go to any interview, they will ask about if you know AWS, that's fine. But even if you work on Azure and GCP, you would know. Just know one cloud and you can easily learn other cloud, right? So we are living in this cloud thing, friends. So does that make sense now? This question makes sense to all of you. Why these things are so important to know? Those who could not answer in the first part, can I get the answer from all of them that yes, these things are so relevant and we all need to know this, friends? Yes or no? Perfect. Good. Friends, so now I'll talk about the next part of the agenda where we talk about the course, friends. So the entire course is designed on these technology, these four technology, right? That's what this course is designed for. I know the problem. I know what is required, what people are looking for to bridge. I know exactly what is required. And I know that we need it from the scratch. Not everybody has that prerequisite knowledge, right? We don't want. So there is no prerequisite knowledge in this course required. You just need to be enthusiastic, passionate, having curiosity to learn. That's all I need, right? And this is the course syllabus. We talk about cloud, AWS. We talk about Linux. Why Linux? People ask me, why Linux, Roshan? Okay, I'll ask a simple question. Do we all know, friends, 98 to 99% of the application that you're using right now, whatever it is, Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Flipkart, Amazon, Blinkit, Jmeter, Ola, Uber, any other applications, are those running in Windows server or they're running in Linux server? Please answer my question if you know that. They're all running in Linux servers. And if we are expected to troubleshoot any issue, deploy application, don't you think we need to be comfortable with Linux? Okay. Arthur has used a sentence, to not do Linux in this market is to be handicapped. Yeah, I'll just slightly change that. Not in this market every time it was the applicable. Yeah, we are only coming to know now, but it has been the case from a long time. Arthur, right? So we need to know Linux. We need to get comfortable. If I ask you, okay, we all know, right? Windows, comfortable, GUI, right? We all know. Okay, just download this, do it, next, installation done, right? Okay, if I ask you what is the CPU memory, go to the task manager, go to this, get this done. Okay, go to this folder, do this, create a file, do this, do that. If I ask the same question, just changing the operating system, will you be comfortable? Install a web server, install a database server, install an application server, navigate to this location. There is a word in a file. I need you to replace that word in that file. Then is there a problem? If the answer is no, we need to learn, right? I'm asking a very simple questions, not asking anything fancy. On the ground, what is required? I'm asking those questions, right? Simple questions. How do we connect to the Linux server? Forget about doing something. How do we connect? Do we know that there's something called SSH protocol? If it's a Linux server in the cloud, in AWS, you create a Linux server. If I ask you this, I exactly know the problem, okay? I know that. That's where I'm discussing the problem. If I tell you, if I give you the AWS cloud, if I give you the Linux server, okay, I've created the Linux server in this cloud. I am here outside world. I am here. Please connect to the Linux server. Forget about doing some operations, installing something. I am here outside the world. Please connect to the Linux server. Do we all know different component that is involved? There is something called SSH protocol. Few would be knowing, right? I'm not saying everybody would. We all need to know. First of all, we all need to know. And I need, and I want you to know this. Which protocol, which port, SSH, which protocol works, friends? What is the port? Give me the port name, port number.
443.
That's the problem. 443 is for the HTTPS. Do we know that there's a security group in the, if you want to connect to the EC2, there's something called security group in the cloud firewall. We have to mention that in the, it's like a firewall bodyguard.
Yeah, SSL and TLS.
No, okay, not asking those things. Security group. Okay. Basics. Those who are answering yes, they know that I'm asking basic questions. Friends, we need to know these things, right? So that's where Linux. If you do not know these things, we should know. I just explained you about monolithic applications, microservices, some architectural knowledge, event-driven application, synchronous, asynchronous application. You should have that understanding, right? Microservices applications, containers. How do we create containers? We need to know something about container engine, Docker. Okay, it's not about just the containers, right? We need auto scaling of containers, auto healing, auto deployment. We need features. We need to talk about Kubernetes, DevOps, CI/CD pipeline, how performance engineering fits in DevOps, automation, Terraform, Ansible, observability, Prometheus, Grafana, Elastic Stack, SRE concepts. So this is the syllabus of the course. I'm going to take you to the website, direct website. I'm going to show you, friends. This is the, if you want looking for a link to share, I'm going to share a link with you. This is the link. You can get to know more details about the course here. Okay. You can find some demos which I have done for the last batch. Okay, this is the new batch I'm starting up over the weekends, starting from today. Today is our demo session. Tomorrow is day one, and we're going to continue. You can find timings from US and UK timings. 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. IST. Right. So cloud. When I say cloud, what all we're covering? Those who understand, please read through this. And the discussion is not about the cloud, okay? Discussion is from the performance engineering or SRE mindset. What does it mean? Performance engineering or SRE mindset, Roshan? Right? You can ask me this question. Very important question. So we take up the topics from these aspects, from high availability perspective. How do we make sure the application is could be highly available? See, what matters the most for production? What matters? We are using Flipkart, Amazon.com, Flipkart, Blinkit, Ola, Uber, WhatsApp, Jmeter. We are using so many applications. What do we expect from the website? To be highly available, first of all. What needs to be done to be highly available? The website has to be highly available first. Should be highly performing. Very important. Performance. Very important. Highly performing. Secure. If the website is highly performing, available, but not secure, are we going to use such websites? We provide our personal details, credit card details, debit card details. If the website is not secure, are we going to use those websites, share our personal details? Absolutely not. There are audits, ISO audits. We have a lot of, obviously, and the solution from a company perspective, the solution that you provide should be cost effective. We take up the entire discussion of all the topics, whether it's cloud, containers, it always through these things. Touch base on our discussion is around this. It's not about just to let you know what is EC2. I am going to tell you why did I select that specific region? On what basis we select a region? How do we make sure if that AZ goes down, if that server goes down, how will you be highly available? We talk from these aspects, right? All these aspects we talk about. So all the topics that we are going to talk about, we discuss from these angles with the performance engineering and SRE mindset. So we talk about the cloud, look at so I'm going to share the link first of all with all of you so that you can go over on your own as well. So friends, this is the course of the cloud. We covered approximately 15 to 20 services, EC2, IAM, lot of storage services, database services, VPC, serverless services, auto scaling, how and load balancing, how it works. A lot of serverless services, SNS. We discuss about it. So we cover a lot in detail from scratch. No need to have any prerequisite knowledge. We talk about Linux again from scratch. I believe in a simple tagline: get as comfortable with Linux as you are with Windows. If you feel comfortable with Windows, you should feel as comfortable in Linux as well. That's how we prepare this course. We talk about from very basics, from very scratch. We talk about SRE concepts, high availability, disaster recovery, SLOs, SLAs, SLA, SLOs, SLIs, error budgets, from the application architecture, monolithic microservices architecture, Docker, container engine, containerization, right? So we need a container engine to create containers. Kubernetes. Again, in detail, whatever you need to know as a senior performance engineering professional or as a senior SRE, we all have in this course. How auto scaling works, what is Kubernetes. I'm not going to just talk about this. You will get overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed because you may not know, all of you may not know this, may not understand completely. So I'm not going in detail. Just know that it has everything you need to know. Just that, because I know what is important. We talk about DevOps, CI/CD pipeline. How do we automate? Okay. Joy has asked a question: what is container and Kubernetes used for? So I was explaining, right, sometime back, Joy, about the containerization concept. Can you let me know what do you recall of this discussion? If I can add something on top of it. Do you recall of anything from this discussion when we talk about containers? What is the main goal of containers? Resource utilization, right? I showed you the diagram. Infra utilization, right?
Yes.
Joy?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. So that's the main goal. Infra optimization without compromising on the availability, performance, security. It's a technology which gives you infra. See, when we talk about the cloud bill, any company, 90% of the cost is through EC2 server. And if a technology can reduce 50% of the cost, it's a huge savings by adopting a technology. That is what containers does, Joy.
Is the application like Java or Python?
Okay. No, Joy, nothing. Do you know virtualization, Joy?
No.
Yeah. So it is not like a code. Okay, it's not a code. It's not a language. It is the way we deploy application. Do you know that we deploy application in the VM? Do you know this?
I know that we deploy application.
In the VM, where do we deploy?
We
Where do we deploy the application?
We deploy from application to
No,
application.
I'm asking about the infrastructure. Where do we deploy the application?
We deploy from our desktop. Is right?
See, we have a web server, app server, database server. If I ask you deploy the web server, where will you deploy? Or the company where you work, where do you think they are deploying?
From the cloud.
Correct. In the cloud. Yeah, Samir, we understand this. She would not be able to understand that, right? So I'm trying to make her understand in a very simple cloud. Yes, cloud, absolutely right, Joy. Right. But what is the service? Server, right? Server, correct?
Yes.
We deploy the application in the server, right? We go to cloud and we create server, correct?
Yes.
This is the server. 8 core, 4 core, 8 core. We create a server, VM, we call it virtual machine. And then we deploy application, right? So that is the deployment I'm talking about here.
Okay.
When we talk about containerization, so I'm talking about the deployment process. It's not the technology, not the language. Infrastructure, where your application runs. Your application runs in infrastructure, in the VM, virtual machine, right? Infrastructure. So that is what container is about. So we can optimize the infrastructure with containers. So it's a software. So we will install a software called container engine. Okay. We are going to install. So when we have the VM, we will install a software called container engine, like Docker. We will install Docker and then we could create containers and we can deploy our microservices in the containers. Making sense?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll explain you. Okay, once I explain you in detail, when I will show you the VM installation, how do we deploy application in the VM versus how do we deploy it's a container. For example, let's say I'm in the cloud, I need a server. So to get the server, I will use a service called EC2, right? So I go to EC2 and create a server. I'm in the cloud. So I'm creating, when I'm launching this, I'm launching instance, I'm launching the server. They have changed the process, looks like. Okay, that doesn't matter. So look at this. So I'm launching a server. I have to select, for any server will have an operating system, right? They will have an operating system. I'm selecting Ubuntu, Linux, right? They would have, I need to mention the infrastructure, how much core, how much RAM, some security key pair. So that there's a process. Again, I don't want to go in detail right now. So we create the server, right? With this process, we launch a server. And then we can deploy application in the server. That is the deployment we're talking about, right? In the server, we deploy a web server, app server, database server. Okay, fine. Let's move on. Okay. Okay. So friends, I'll come back here. Okay, friends, are we on the same page? Others, everybody? Are you good? Quick thumbs up.
Yes.
Perfect. let's come back. So we talk about DevOps, friends, CI/CD pipeline. I'm going to show you, it's a hands-on sessions. I'm going to install Jenkins, create a server, install Jenkins. Before installing Jenkins, I'll install Java, right? And then I'm going to create a pipeline, Jenkins files, freestyle job. I'm going to do that, create a pipeline and demonstrate that, right? Again, we talk about the observability. How do we do monitoring? We talk about Prometheus, Grafana, and the Elastic Stack. We talk about Java performance engineering, troubleshooting. How to troubleshoot Java applications, garbage collection, GC algorithm.
Roshan, sorry if I'm disturbing here. So these all are added into the course?
Correct. I'm talking about the
all
course.
the yellow highlighted marks on.
Everything,
all these
everything, everything is, whatever I'm showing you, whatever you have in the page, it's in the course.
Okay.
So
It's
one
a
quick
vast
question.
course. Yes, go ahead.
The whatever you are showing these things, monitoring things, all these things, parallelly we can also do that when you are teaching us, or just we need to see whatever you are doing.
See, I'm going to execute all the commands. I'm going to set up EC2, create a server, install Prometheus, install Grafana dashboard. You can do that. You can do that along with me. So have to monitor so that, see, again, understand that, right? If 10 people are doing hands-on, and if you're waiting for every step, that 1 hour session can go up to 3 hours, right? So if you can manage with the pace, you will have the recording anyway. I'm going to show you the live things. You can do it later, and if you can manage, why not? You can do this.
Yeah, that is fine. But is this all this installation is chargeable, or open source kind of thing?
Yeah, I will talk about that. See, Prometheus. So, okay, first of all, you will not be paying. See, when we say the chargeable, it's about the infra, right? These are open source. Grafana, Prometheus, these are open source. Where we need to pay? We need to pay to the cloud because we get the server. We pay for the server, right? So everybody will have the cloud account, and they offer some free tier in the cloud. So everybody is required to have a cloud account, free cloud account. You can get it. Just go to this website, aws.amazon.com. Amazon.com, you know that, right? Just go to this website, aws.amazon.com, and create a free account. Create an account, cloud account, and get started with like this, right? And they give you some free credits. So we can use those free credits and practice things. You don't need to pay to AWS, right? I'm going to guide you, right? As I told you, we are discussing on the cost optimization as well, correct? So I'm going to guide you on how do you cost optimize. See, because when you work in any company, they use cloud, and they will ask you, how do you ensure that you do cost optimization? So you need to think from that perspective. I am preparing you through this course for the interviews, and I need you to do the hands-on in the cloud so that you feel comfortable, confident while answering. And you should be able to give some solutions on the cost optimization. So in all these angles, we're going to discuss. Hope I could answer your question.
Yeah, got you, Roshan.
So you have mentioned several services in AWS and other things. When you are explaining those things, will with respect to that performance optimization, right? You are going to explain.
Can you repeat the question, Srinivas?
No, you are going to explain AWS 20 services, 20 plus services you
Correct,
mentioned, right?
15 to 20 service, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Docker and Kubernetes, pods,
Correct.
containerization. These things we are
Correct.
going to learn from scratch, and the perspective we are going to learn with respect to the performance optimization, right?
You got it. Yes, from all these aspects.
So you are going to tell us how to optimize those things and how effectively we can use those things.
Correct. See, again, when you say performance optimization, I'm not talking about code optimization. I'm not talking about query
Yeah, not code
optimization.
optimization, that configurations and these things
The
when we are configuring the Docker.
infrastructure,
Yeah,
you can say
yeah,
infrastructure optimization. Yes, absolutely.
correct.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, thank you very much.
So
Okay,
what will be
Samir,
the code
go ahead.
course duration, please?
Yes, I'll come to that. So Samir has asked a question. Do we have auto scaling and VPC covered? Yes, Samir. Auto scaling, without auto scaling, we cannot cover anything, right? So we have auto scaling in the VMs as well as in the containers. Both auto scaling works differently, Samir. The auto scaling of VMs and auto scaling of containers work differently. So we talk about both. So this is the VM here. And when you talk about the containers, you need to come to the Kubernetes and talk about auto scaling. So we talk about both auto scaling, right? And
Got
obviously
it.
the VPCs are the core networking service. Without that, we cannot complete anything. We cannot start. So VPC would be the first thing I would create in the cloud. Right? Okay, Ganga, on your question, it's a very vast course, okay, and we cover a lot of things, right? So, and we meet over the weekends, right? 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours over the weekends. So this course goes up to 3 months, right? And approximately 40 hours of live sessions, 35 to 40 hours of live sessions. So you can calculate that way. Right? So it's a very vast course, and we have segregated into some recorded session also because of this. So 35 to 40 hours of live sessions. Right. So if you calculate this 4 hours a week, you will end up having 3 months approximately. Yes, Charan, load balancer. Absolutely. Charan. Okay. Since I saw the Charan's question, Charan, load balancer is there.
Roshan, like I have a
So
question.
1 second, one by one. 1 second. Let me complete that part. I think most of you question will be cleared. 1 second. So 35 to live sessions, live, right? That's why we segregated into few recorded sessions as well. It's a very vast course, right? You would have understood. So recorded sessions are going to be my sessions only, right? So we are going to work on the mix. So when I talk about cloud, first thing, everything about cloud, I'm going to give you this recorded session, the Linux part, right? I'm going to give you that. And you can, it's very easy to do. Earlier, I used to do hands-on. The course used to take 6 months. We have bring this down to 3 months, right? Live sessions. So we have segregated it. So you can see in the link, only the recorded videos provided. It doesn't mean that if you come up with the question and the next one, I'm not going to explain. Right? I'm going to explain. It's going to be my recording only, right? So this is going to be the recording Linux. So this is going to be the shared. I'll be sharing you these three. Okay, I just need to connect here. 1 second. So these are going to be these recording sessions. So these three are going to Linux. So it's going to be mix of both. So you will have hands-on session happening live sessions, as well as you'll have the recording sessions. So both will be done in parallel, and you can ask questions. It's going to be my recording only, and you can ask questions. Rasan, I could not understand that. Can you repeat this? Yes, absolutely. And it's a part of the live sessions only. It's going to be very much similar to what we have been doing. Okay, go ahead. Somebody was asking a question.
What about the lab setup and practicing?
Correct. Everything is in the cloud, right? Everybody
Yeah. See,
will
once
have the.
you done the session, we are going to practice. That time, if we stuck up somewhere, or is there any team
Okay.
to help, or we need to
See,
connect with
we
you
will
only?
be in a WhatsApp group like this. Okay. We'll be in a WhatsApp group. I'm showing you the live WhatsApp group right now, my live. So you can see this. There are some batches going on, weekends batches. So January batch, one of the one day. So I'll be in a group with you like this. And you can post your questions like this, right? And you can meet it. Other people can also answer you. If they could not, I will be also answering you. We'll help each other, we'll learn. So we'll have a quorum to discuss the technical questions.
Over the weekend batch, we are going to run the weekday batches also.
Okay, what is that question? I could not understand. This is for the
No.
weekends batch. Let's not
Yeah,
confuse. Let's
no,
not confuse.
not
This is for
confusing. Just I'm asking, is there weekend batches also you are running?
weekdays. Yes, that's ongoing.
Yeah.
That's ongoing.
Okay.
Ongoing, and 50% is covered. So it will take another 1.5 months to complete.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So,
So
Roshan,
once, go ahead.
yeah, how will you be providing the videos, and do we have lifetime access to the videos, or
Lifetime access. Okay, let me show you. So whenever I complete the session, right? Let's say today I have completed a session. Let's say I have taken one of the session, and this is going to be the recording, right? So we provide this kind of a recording. You can see this, right?
got it?
So, and you'll be given recording, and whatever we are recording right now will be added to the right. So you'll be given access to this, right? Like this. I'm going to show you the live copy pasted the link. 1 second.
So only specific people who are in the batch will be getting access to the link?
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. So look at this. Why this, right? It's not a public. Look at this. So you will be getting day. So this is a November batch. So I'm about to complete that batch. Only few sessions are remaining. So it's a very vast course, right? So look at this. We'll be giving you this kind of a recording, and on daily basis, whenever we complete the session. And right now we are on the 34th session, and today we have that latest one is not uploaded. Today's recording. Yeah, so will be uploaded like this, and you'll be given access. So this is the latest one I shared with you.
Got it.
So Roshan,
Go ahead.
recording will be done on daily basis, right? If I missed any session, I will definitely get that recording, right?
Correct. Same thing. Same thing I was showing you right here. Every will be recorded here. Will be uploaded to this playlist.
That sounds good.
Okay, go ahead. Any other questions? Lifetime. Yes,
Roshan,
it's lifetime.
I just wanted to know, like, after completing this course in 3 months, like, what would be like, the experience, what we can claim, after taking all these classes? I mean,
Okay.
like 2 years, 1 year.
Okay, I'll answer this question. Very good question. Very relevant question. It depends on you. If I'm here to share knowledge, and I'm going to deliver whatever in the course, but are you ready to take it? Will you be practicing? Will you be asking questions? Will you be exploring on your own? These things also matter. So if, let's say, considering everything, you are doing exactly what I'm expecting you to do, asking questions, struggling, doing hands-on without missing any sessions, you can show up to 5 to 6 years, justify 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
In this domain. But if you're slightly casual, I cannot guarantee. Correct?
Yeah.
So it all depends on you. I am here because, see, I will explain things. What I have noticed, why I'm making you this statement, because what I have noticed, people are not practicing. Few people, 2-3 people at the end, right? When I start a batch, and at the end of the batch, I see a significant difference in the seriousness. There could be reasons. I'm not denying that. But if you are doing your due diligence, your answer is up to 5 years you can justify. You will have enough knowledge here. Enough. Which I'll be sharing with you in this course.
Roshan, for the course link that you provided, right? It says assessments is yes. So just wanted to understand what kind
Can
of
you repeat
assessment.
that? What is that, Samir? Which one?
In the course link, I believe on you have mentioned that assessments will be there.
Where I have mentioned? Can you show me? I have missed. Can you show me here?
I saw that.
Assessment is the word is there.
Yeah, assessments you can see on top. Yeah, it says yes.
Okay, I think they have done a mistake. See, assessment is like up to you. I don't believe in assessments. I'm going to only ask you whether you have done a hands-on or not on daily basis. I think it's a website thing. I think they need to, they are making a format. I think that's where it's coming up. On the assessment wise, what I do, I check, I only expect one thing. Did you go over the last session? Are you comfortable with the last question, last session? Any questions? Because when you do that, right, you can answer any interview questions or any assessment you can do. Because see, I'll give you one example. Let's say today we have learned load balancer and auto scaling group. Let's say auto scaling group. Now, after explaining, giving you a demo, if I ask you to repeat the process of auto scaling group for your application, right? So you would be expected to do that. That could have, I could add that as the assessment. I'm not taking a special session for the assessment. I'm only relying on you that you have done the hands-on. If you do the hands-on, ask questions, you are through. That is what the way I take it up.
Correct.
Samir. Go ahead. Any other questions?
Do we cover any AI tools for SRE?
Okay. Yeah, very good question. Yeah. See, understand one thing. What is AI tool? Tell me one thing. I'll ask you this question first of all. I'm asking a question. You will understand why I'm asking a question. Can somebody use any AI tool? Let's say the person has not done a Kubernetes auto scaling setup. Let's say they have never done, a person has not done. I'll ask a very simple question. Let's say EC2. The person has never created a server. And you're asking AI tools to create the server. Would you be sure that you are getting the same server, what you expected, what you needed?
Yeah. If he knows the concept, then only we will be able to.
Correct. So absolutely. So that's my point. We are here for the concepts. We are building foundation in this course. Right. On top of it, now how you will use it, up to you. So we are learning cloud, we are learning Docker, we are learning Kubernetes, we are learning Jenkins, we are learning Terraform, we are learning Ansible, we are learning Java performance engineering, we are learning observability, we are learning SRE concepts. Now you have all these things with you. Use any AI tools, LLM tool, any, and make use of it. Write scripts, shell script, Python scripts. Make use of it with adding those concepts that you have learned. So we are focusing of this course, the focus on the foundation. Without foundation, we cannot make use of AI tools. Let's say I don't know a technology. Let's say I've never worked on the front-end application, UI coding, UI development. I've never done it. React.js or whatever technology that we have, Django. I have never worked on the front-end technology. I have worked mostly on the back-end technology. How much ever I use AI tool, do you think I can write prompt and get the best UI created? It's not going to work, right? We need to have the fundamental knowledge, the first thing of using the AI tool. So I always say this to everybody who asks this AI thing, first learn the basics. Then I'm going to, when you and me going to be together on a session and discussing about how can we leverage any AI tool for our advantage, for learning better, exploring better. Right? Am I making sense to all of you? What I'm trying to say, convey?
Yes.
So yeah, so there's no AI tool as such, right? Focus on the fundamentals, and then we'll use. I'm going to show you I usually use Copilot or ChatGPT, and I show you at the end, I show you the power of when you have the knowledge, let's say Kubernetes auto scaling setup. You should know, right? First of all, how a YAML looks like of Kubernetes. Without knowing, okay, I'll give you one example. Best example. You'll understand what I'm trying to tell you. If somebody doesn't know this YAML, let's say, doesn't understand this YAML, can that person configure the resources of the container? Or can they configure auto scaling group using AI?
Absolutely not.
Right? That is what I'm trying to focus. Learn fundamentals first. And now when you know this, okay, that's the resource of the container. That's called resources. That's a request. What does it mean? Limit. What does it mean? And there's something called HPA, horizontal pod autoscaler. What does it? How does the YAML looks like? HPA YAML. How it looks like. When I show you this, then you can use concepts and you can be better. Right? When I will show you the HPA YAML looks like this. You can have the auto scaling based on this configuration. When I will show you this, when I will explain, when you understand each and everything about this YAML, you can ask more questions from the AI. When you have the fundamental strong, you can make use of LLM tools for your learning, to expedite your learning. That is what we are focusing on the course, fundamentals. Right. Okay. Any other question? I hope I answered that question. Any other questions, friends?
Yeah. What about the fee structure? Like, it's at one-time payment, or do we have
Okay,
any?
you can call Mr. Kumar. I don't deal with fees. You can call Mr. Kumar. He would be telling you he's the best person to talk about fees. Call him. He heads Isha Training Solutions. Call him. You'll get details. I have given the link of this, right? Call him. You'll get details. Okay. Any profiling tool? No, we don't do any profiling tool here as such, Charan. But we do talk about Java performance engineering in general, GC analysis, GC log analysis, heap dump analysis, thread dump analysis, GC algorithm in general. We talk about these things, not any profiling tool as such. Your kit, or we don't use any such tools, JProfiler or any such tools.
Roshan, any seat limitation for the batch, like 10 people or 15 people like that?
Yeah, that's what we would be. Maximum 20 we have. We don't take up more than 20. 15 is ideal. Yeah. There is no such thing, but 20 is the maximum.
Okay.
Okay. So let's meet tomorrow, friends, on day 1, and we'll start our cloud journey, right? We'll start the first topic is on the cloud, right? We'll discuss about cloud. Want to learn more about this, friends? Go over the sessions, earlier demos. Again, you can meet tomorrow also. You will find you go over the feedbacks also, right? They are all screenshots given. People have enjoyed over the years, so you can just go over it. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow on day 1, friends, and we'll talk about cloud. Start our journey on the cloud.
So the link to for tomorrow's meeting, Roshan.
Yeah, be in WhatsApp. Be in the same WhatsApp will be given. Yeah, I think tomorrow would be for everybody, and then we will close for the closed group.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshan. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roshan. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.